My new companion, who had yet to say much other than they were willing to join us on our voyage to the west, and I made it to the western islands late in the evening. It had started raining as we made camp. Needless to say, neither of us slept well. The rain continued all through the night and into the morning. I usually enjoyed the rain and the smell of the damp earth. I loved listening to it hit the roofs and listening to the thunder rumbling in the sky, knowing Thor was busy at work striking his anvil, and then the rainbow bridge would appear in the sky after. However, this was different. There was no thunder, and the smell of damp earth was tainted by the smell of rot and decay. The sky was almost black with no signs of the rain letting up or the clouds breaking. I had this sinking feeling that there would be no rainbow bridge in the sky after this rain. It's been 5 years. What do you mean it's been 5 years? 5 years since what? 5 years since Loki's revenge and the warriors on it left the island after receiving the call. I stood there, a little confused, with a look of shock and disbelief on my face, staring at the new recruit. 5 years? We were only gone for 5 days. No, it's been 5 years. We thought you had all died or gotten lost. We were only in the mists for 5 days. I thought for a moment. There must be some time difference between the known world and the mist. It must have something to do with the magic. 1 day in the mists must be a year in the known world. We had funerals for you all by the 3rd year. Losing some of our best warriors wasn't easy. Luckily, the world was quiet. We did a little raiding, and shortly before you returned, everything was on fire. I saw what I believed to be fear in their eyes. Did you see what did this to our home? No. I was asleep when I heard screams coming from the south. I ran outside and saw nothing but fire. I heard the most thunderous roar. I thought Ragnarok was upon us. I screamed to wake others, grabbed my boots, and started moving everyone towards the woods. Whatever it was large and flew. I knew then exactly what happened. It was dragons. They must be wreaking havoc on the known world. Dragons? What the fuck do you mean, dragons? While we were in the mists, we may have accidentally released dragons? The new recruit went silent for a minute. A slight twinge of anger grew in their eyes and then subsided. A slight look of sadness passed over their face. They sigh deeply and smile slightly. Well, there isn't much we can do about it now. Come on, and we should go see what and who is left here. The island was the last to be attacked. Maybe they saw more of the beasts? With that, we set out to explore and seek out any survivors. The rain was still coming down in a steady drizzle with no signs of stopping. I grabbed my cape from my bag and put it on to help keep the wet and cold away, and gave a hide to the recruit since they didn't appear to have anything other than a waterskin, a sword, and the clothes on their back. We made our way through the ruins of the town. The scene here was much more gruesome than on the other 2 islands. There were burnt corpses of humans everywhere, many still holding their weapons. They must have tried to fight after they heard the screams from the other 2 islands. We will have to give them proper burials. Warrior burials. Even though it was a battle that was lost before it began. It was the same as the other islands. Only the populated portion of the island was destroyed. The woods to the north were untouched. We didn't find any survivors here, though. After searching and giving the dead proper burials worthy of warriors, it was past noon. There isn't much more we can do here. We should head back to the ship so you can meet the rest of the crew. They nodded, and we hopped in our small boat and rowed to the south. The new recruit and I made it back to Loki's revenge late that night. Everyone was already asleep. We crept on board quietly. It was still raining, and there was no light from the moon. As we stumbled our way through the darkness, trying not to trip over anyone, we managed to find a spot to lie down. I laid there for what felt like hours, staring into the black, lightless sky, my friends all snoring around me. My body ached from the numerous battles in Heinefall. I must have been tired enough that the dampness and the cold didn't bother me, because I drifted into my dreams. I felt the wind rushing past my ears and a familiar beating of wings. I looked down and saw a friend I hadn't seen in years. His silver-black scales glistened in the sun as we flew over the familiar mountains and rivers of Sylvie, a place not known to the known world.
"Hello, old friend,"
he said to me. "Hello, Svarder." And then I woke up.